Welcome back to Queen City Dawg Talk, everyone. I am Jacob.
I'm Drew.
And today, as you can see, we have a very special guest. This is our buddy Kyle. He was, what was it, week 9 that he was on?
I don't remember. It was a great week, though.
It was. Well, he is back.
Thanks for having me back, Jacob.
Oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely. And if y'all saw last week's episode, we had my cousin Xander here, and we go to games with like all 4 of us. Sorry, I'm on Christmas break. I haven't been doing math. But anyways, we all go to games. So I was thinking we could all do a podcast if we win the national championship. I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be a lot of fun. I'm down with that.
Me too.
So Xander and Kyle. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Final score, 42-41, your Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, it was awful. Well, it was very stressful, you know?
Amen.
Very stressful.
I mean,
absolutely.
I hated it, to be honest. This was my least favorite game of the season. And then it was the Missouri game. Missouri game.
Both were emotionally draining.
Oh, for sure. It was really weird because I felt like I was pretty confident that we were going to win.
Yep.
I felt like we were going to be a third quarter team. Then it was like, okay, we're going to be a fourth quarter team, you know? And then it was like halfway through the fourth quarter, I was sitting on the edge of my seat. Sure. But we pulled it out, 42-41.
We definitely did. How was your experience, Kyle? Like, what were you feeling?
I think we all felt the same way. I tell you, the worst feeling was thinking about all these Buckeyes fans I know who are just going to be, jabbing their jaws the whole time. And so, honestly, the best is knowing that that's not coming. Yeah. And not only is it not coming, we're 2-0. Ask Kirk Herbstreit, right? But
that's right.
I tell you, something really interesting happened. I went to the auto parts store to get a check engine light looked at, and the guy's looking at it. He starts talking to me about football. I have my Georgia stuff. And then he tells me he's a Bama fan. Oh. And he said, you know what? He goes, you guys did what Bama usually does. You win games you shouldn't have. Yep. And I thought about that. Yeah, it was really interesting. So tell me what you think about that, Jacob.
I mean, I've been around, like y'all, no offense, but to Georgia or y'all, when y'all were younger, we were, slacking off. We weren't that good. But whenever I started to watch and pick up on it, Alabama, we would be winning SEC championship and then the national championship. We would be winning, right? And they come in at the end, I think it was 2018 year, and they would always come in, and it was heartbreaking. So I know this is kind of mean, but I don't really care. I'm happy that we're doing the heartbreaking now.
Yeah.
That's what I think about it.
Better to be on the other end of it.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
The last thing he said was people should be saying we want the dogs, not we want Bama. Yeah, and I thought that was an ultimate compliment. So,
it's going to be good to see those signs.
Yeah, your Uncle Justin was saying some of the very similar things, that we've been in that same situation with them, but it's been the reverse, where we're winning all those games, like you were saying, and then we lose at the very end. Even in overtime, which is just heartbreaking. Oh. So I get it. I've been there. I'm glad we're on this end.
Yeah. Well, I will say it was very easy to stay up for the New Year's, but the Ohio State's fan did get to see the ball drop, but it was just a little left to the right, 20 feet. Nope, to the left, 20 feet. That's going to be on the
quote. Ball drop. Oh, that's awesome.
So that was good. But a quick little moment of silence for those Ohio State fans. Go Dogs! That's
sick 'em.
Now we can. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the first touchdown by Kenny McIntosh, 25-yard pass from Stetson Bennett.
A nice little flick out to the outside there on the left.
Look at those 2 big blockers up there.
Look at the blockers
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
speed. I mean, he just took off. That was pretty awesome.
He had a great game.
How many? 1, 2.
That tied us up. So you remember their first drive, we stopped them, right? And then we had that great drive, and I believe that was on third down when Stetson kept the ball instead of handing it off to McIntosh. he split right through the left-hand side of the line, and he had nothing but green right in front of him. And then Stetson did the little bootleg, so to speak, over to the right. And I don't think he lost yardage, but if he
definitely
it was mighty close. So then we turned it over on downs, missed the kick. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. And then Ohio State came down, drove down the field, 70-something yards, 71 yards, just 4 plays, which was pretty impressive. Chewed us up, took the lead, but then we answered right back, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was that play right. We just answered right back. Second quarter was super stressful. It started off with the 2 TDs by Ohio State, and then our 2 TDs by Georgia. Then the field goal. No offense, Podlesny. Right?
Yep.
He actually made it.
Yeah.
Like the past 2 or 3 that we had, he missed it. I mean, I don't know what was going on. He can usually nail those, But
yeah, he's a great kicker.
And then they finished out going into halftime with the touchdown. So
starting to feel pretty good going into the half. 1 minute and 44 seconds left. We've got the lead by 3. And then again, they just, take just not even a minute, come running down and score. And then they go into the half. But we looked rough, I thought, going in that series right before the half. Kirby right to Stetson. I don't know what he said going into that to the locker room, but
we scored too quick, is what I think he said.
Well, in that one we didn't do. Oh, you're talking about for the field goal?
Yeah.
Well, Stetson didn't listen to him at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I noticed this whenever they're showing him on TV. Did y'all see that Carter was on the sideline? He looked like tired.
Yeah, he looked pretty whooped.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like, what do you think's going on? Do you think he's hurt or just out of breath or tired? I mean, he wasn't either.
He got double teamed all night, and they held him all night.
Yeah.
We didn't get a call. We got one holding call all night, and it's hard to beat 12 people when one of them's the official.
Yeah. I saw some comments today saying that this game was just moving too fast for these refs. They're Pac-12, I think, if I remember correctly. And they were just saying that they were just sitting there watching the plays. Like, instead of watching their assignments and what they're supposed to officiate, they're watching, Stroud run around. And they're not doing their job. So, we overcame that. I'd be pretty upset if we didn't, but thankfully we did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was wondering, too, if he was sick. Kyle, you made that comment to me, halfway through, towards in the first quarter, maybe early second quarter? You were like, where's Jalen?
Yeah.
And I thought, I could have sworn I saw him in the game, but then shortly after you said something, he actually got in. Maybe he was sick or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure we overcame it, to be honest. I think this was Ohio State's game, and they choked on it in the last play of the game, last real play. I don't sit here and brag about this game at all because we didn't really win it. They lost it. Now I'm glad we got the score and we're still going through, but moral victory doesn't exist really here.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that Kirby's coaching nonstop. Like, everybody's celebrating. You could see him standing on the stage, just staring and thinking about everything he's got to say and coach up and worry about. And then he immediately says it in the presser, we didn't play well to our standards. I love that.
Well, I think that's a good wake-up call for the team.
We need it.
And I was telling you earlier, Kyle, that, I saw that interview and it was reporters reporting from the TCU complex and then in Athens. And the guy there at TCU was saying that this was yesterday. They had the day off and they start their preparations and practice today. And I don't know if it was just like walkthroughs today or what. And then they cut over to Marty Smith and he's like, no, they're working. Kirby, they're practicing today. They took off yesterday. They did, got people in the room to get fixed or whatever, rehab, and whatnot, and then they were at it. So
That's
different
commitment to the
mentality.
G.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched College Game Day on Monday, Kyle, but they had an interview with Kirby, and he was like, "I didn't even know where you guys were." They said something to him like, "You've been watching the bowl games today and all that stuff." He goes, "I have no clue. I couldn't tell you that stuff." I even had to. I feel bad. I had to ask the producers like, "Where are you? Where are these guys at?" And that's when we learned they're at the Rose Bowl. I thought it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
And going back to the score review, the third quarter we're not going to talk about. Not very good, Yeah, I'm not going to talk about. The fourth quarter, though, Jackpot Lesney stepped up again, hit a 31-yard field goal, bringing the score to 38-27. And I feel like this was the turnaround point for Georgia. Once we got that drive, I feel like, okay, let's do it. And then right after that, we have a touchdown from Arian Smith, the 76-yard pass we set to Bennett. And then that was also the 2-point conversion. Remember that?
Well, it went for a 2-point, but we
that
didn't get it.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We did get it.
McConkey got it on the line. It was his play of the game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Was it a little pass out to the right?
Yep.
To him?
He got crushed on the goal line.
I think this is the touchdown.
There it
Airs
is.
it out.
AD.
I was like, how is he wide open? That was awesome.
That's Arian Smith. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
That's the
I thought it was
touchdown
the
instead
last
of a
one.
2-point conversion.
And now think about how big that
Here's the
2-point
two-point
conversion is.
Nice.
I mean, he was already hurt, and he got smacked.
So here's the slow, and here's the replay. He just dusts this dude, and there was no way he was keeping up with him.
Oh, he turned the wrong way. Look at that fake. Oh, and he fell too. Bro, go pick up your ankles. You're still on the field.
Yep, gone.
Oh my God.
Where
are you going? Look at Kirby on the sideline. Did you see him?
No, I didn't see him.
Oh, he's running down. Oh, that's funny.
That was awesome.
That was so cool. To be honest, I don't even remember him breaking his ankles like that. Because he turned the wrong way, tried to turn back, and then he fell. I don't remember.
Yeah, we saw it on the
That was
replay
so good
like
to
that.
see.
That's what Stetson saw. That's why he released.
Makes sense.
Yep,
Airs it out. That's the mailman for you.
absolutely.
Let's see.
So that brought us within 3, and then they took a good bit of time off the clock. Actually, went down, but then we were able to hold them and got the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So that was huge, which we need to talk about. I don't know where exactly it was that Kirby called the timeout when they were going for.
Oh God!
Oh,
going
it was like
forward
fourth and
on
one
down.
or third and one or something. It had to be. It was very close.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's actually this field goal right there, the 2:43. Where before that he called it, and then
I think it was maybe the drive before that.
I don't know, because I feel like
Huge.
I mean, it's Coach Smart is just really good, and he showed it again. He's nominated for Player of the Week for Quincy.
Yeah.
I feel like it, because like Kyle said earlier, you can see him coaching, like up on the stage and going to halftime. Like you said, he keeps going, and he's just so energetic.
Right.
But
There was a lot of talk after the game. If that was the play of the game, was the not play. I don't know if you listened to. Was it Dane Young or something?
Dane Young, yeah.
I don't always love him, but I liked what he said. He would love to have an interview with Kirby and document that whole story of like, what was it? He said the play of the game was the not play.
Right.
Yeah, because you called timeout, so it wasn't a play.
Yep.
Like, did the box see it? Did Kirby see it?
who knows?
Yeah.
What I read was that Kirby was still on the defense line or whatever on their. That's who was talking in his ear.
Yeah.
And the special teams guys were saying it, but he wasn't on the same radio frequency as them or whatever. And so he saw that and called it. which I
Wow.
also saw, and I didn't realize, and nobody pointed it out there during the game, but they had 12 players on the field doing that.
Oh, during that play, I thought it was a
Oh,
During
different.
because
that play.
that guy was running off, wasn't it?
No, that was a different time.
So the
Wow.
refs
When we
didn't call
caught
that.
Huh.
I don't know enough about it. You know, I read that they should have technically, if they were in the huddle, they can't be in the huddle with 12, right? So
Yeah, you can't do
they
that.
got busted with that already one time during the game.
Yeah.
So they should have called it then. And it probably should have never even gotten that far. And then, you know, as soon as the ref recognizes that Kirby wants that timeout, they get it. And so he got that in before they actually snapped the ball. But as he snapped the ball, I think is where the whistle actually got to be blown. So, or was blown or whatever. So.
Yeah.
But that was huge.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I mean, when it's a 1 point game, every play is huge, isn't it?
For sure.
I mean,
Especially
I listened to all these things, saw all the polls saying what was the play of the game, and I couldn't choose. Was Kirby Smart's timeout call? Was it smashing Harrison in the end zone so he doesn't catch it and that's not a touchdown? Yeah, is it McConkey's 2-point conversion? Because without it, it's a 40-41 loss. You know, there's
I want to
so
go
many
back and see the sky view of that game. I want to watch a lot of that because I've read that Harrison actually stepped out of bounds before he caught that.
Oh, wow.
So that would be a penalty against them.
Yeah.
So even if they called targeting, then they should have been offset because that was an illegal touch.
Mm-hmm.
So then it would have negated it anyway. That's what my understanding is. But it totally was not. I don't think it was targeting at all.
No, he hit it with his shoulder.
Yeah, he popped.
They overturned that real fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's very fishy, you know. Miscalled holding, whatever, you know, unbalanced touch. And then what was the other thing we were just talking about? The 12 people on.
Mm-hmm.
They did. Ohio State did that like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, Pac-12 refs.
Yeah, Stetson caught them on defense once. That guy was coming off the field, and instead of running a straight line, which he still would have gotten,
That was funny.
but he goes back, crosses out the line of scrimmage
So
to go out of bounds, so then it's offside.
They called it offside on him. That's right. Ohio State. I thought they were supposed to be smart. Well, then,
has anybody sent the kicker for Ohio State a gift basket?
He needs one.
Yeah, I think we should all pitch in and get one from Queen City Dawg Talk. But
we're gonna put a GoFundMe in the description. I'm just kidding. You know, give them my Kleenexes and tissues. But I think I can't. How do you say that? Aaron Denai Michael?
AD. I think everybody just called it AD.
Well,
Adani or something.
AD had a 10-yard pass from Stetson Bennett, scored a touchdown, brought us up to 41-42. And I was so scared. So let's go ahead and take a look at the play.
We definitely did this way too fast.
This was the one I was talking about that was too fast. Yep.
Way too fast.
Well, this and before the half, because then they came down before the half in 45 seconds and scored.
Right.
I mean, maybe the team was just like stressed because they're losing so much. They just wanted to get the point, you know? But
Well, you get rolling and you just got to go, I think, you know?
look how he just got that.
Yep.
It was like a floater. It floated right in.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome.
Well, next thing I want to talk about is the ball drop by Ohio State. We don't have it right here, so I'm going to put it in like right here.
If you hit that
before I play it, what were you going to say, Kyle?
I think if you hit that full play-by-play, it'll bring up all the plays, and you can probably find it there. I don't know if they'll have a video of it, but see that little button.
Well, anyways, what were y'all thinking when they were lining up for that kick?
I was praying.
Yeah.
Miss it.
Oh,
That's true.
missed field goal.
It doesn't have it on the thing.
Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, how many Buckeyes fans am I going to have to see in the next year? You know?
Man.
There's this one kid in my homeroom class. I'm going to see him tomorrow. I'm not going to talk smack. I'm just going to, if he says his name, I'm going to say scoreboard.
You're just gonna wear a big shirt that says 42-41.
Ooh, we should do that. We should really do that.
You got a
Hey,
cricket.
comment and like if y'all want some City Dawg Talk shirts. That'd be pretty cool. I'll be rocking. I'll be rocking. But I'm gonna go ahead and play that right here. So I didn't even watch it, to be honest. We were at my grandma's house. We were watching. I was on the couch. I was just watching their faces. I wasn't gonna watch it. I was scared to death. That was my experience. Kyle was praying. What were you doing?
I was just watching it. I don't know.
Taking it in.
Yeah.
Stone cold chilling.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry, just thinking. Oh,
I know I didn't drink a beer, and I was like, I'm going to go to halftime, but I couldn't make it to halftime. That game, man, I had to go get a beer. Calm my nerves a little bit. But absolutely crazy. When you look at the stats of this particular game, Stetson, he did good. I mean, he made a lot of boneheaded plays, a lot of boneheaded, things. That interception he shouldn't have done. I don't know if he just got kind of, I don't know what to say. Like nerves got to him or what. But you look at his stats compared to Stroud, and he did all right. He's got the same percentage, 23 for 34. He had about 50 yards more, and he had the 3 TDs. So he had 2 throwing, and then one running, I believe.
He ran in 3 yards. Yeah.
And that one interception really hurt him.
I was really scared.
And I'll remember the halftime stats. Rushing, they had 10 yards rushing at halftime. I believe, if I remember correctly. Pretty impressive.
Right now, we do this every week, the Queen City Dawg Talk Player of the Week. Who are y'all going to nominate, and then who's y'all's Queen City Dawg Talk Player? You want to start, Sam?
Should we let our guest start?
Sure. Let's put Kyle on the bus. Go ahead, Kyle.
What do you want me to pick? Best player of the game?
Yep. Or who do you think, or coach, or who was outstanding and who helped to the somewhat of a victory for Georgia?
Kenny Mack.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I love Stetson. I've got a friend who doesn't and says the defense carries him and he's not a good quarterback and all that. But, I've disagreed with him all year, except in the third quarter of this game. I started to send him messages saying I kind of worried about it. Well, then I told him in the fourth quarter, he put it on his shoulders and he passed and he got the ball where it needed to be and he made all the good decisions. And I think there's 2 things about Stetson I want to say. By the way, this is for that guy, right? Stetson right here. Yeah, you love it. So
nice.
Anyway, Stetson's the mailman. He delivered, but I don't think he had to. And I go back to the end of the first half when we gave him the ball back too soon. There were a lot of RPOs, and I know Monken gives Stetson a lot of freedom. And I do believe that Stetson had it in his head that he was going to carry this team, and he shouldn't have, and he didn't need to. And I think we would have had a much better game if he hadn't. I think if we ran the ball and stuck with our DNA more, there would have been less clock. And I think it would have given Ohio State a lot less chances to have 42 points. I don't think we will never know, obviously, but the running game was working. And there were too many pass plays, in my opinion, for a Georgia team. And I think it wore down the defense. And I don't think they'll ever say it. But if I ask myself, why is the defense so tired? It's because somebody was pushing too hard, too fast, and not getting where he needed to get.
Makes sense.
So I know that was 2 sides. Yes, Kenny Mack, dominant, like wonderful stats, great player. And the thing that really got me is his post game. I don't know if you guys stayed up, but I was so amped up. I stayed up for a few hours watching the whole thing. And I really want to thank Kenny for being a Christian and thanking God and talking about his prayer. I thought that was awesome. And he talked about what was happening on the sidelines and how so many of the players were praying. And I think that's awesome. You don't see that in every team. You don't see, even the kids who do it don't always talk about it on TV.
Right.
I think that's important. So anyway, that's where my vote is.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I agree. A lot of great points there. Kenny McIntosh was awesome. He had 70 yards on just 5 carries. Why they didn't give him the ball more, I have no clue. Kenny Milton, Kendall Milton was running hard too.
Yeah.
He only got 3 carries, and he looked good. He got that TD in there too, popped through there, looked really good. But I think I've got to probably go on the defensive side and go with Butler. I think that Ringo had a good game. There was quite some times where you want to look at what Ringo did, and you think during the game that he didn't play well. When you look at his stats, he actually did really, really well. But Bullard and that hit, knocking it out of Harrison, knocking
awesome.
Harrison out
Awesome.
of the game. I think that's a mentality that our team really builds off of. And so I think that was probably, for me, one of the plays of the game. Top 2 probably, and I think I put them.
Yeah. So I have 3 points I want to add at the end right here. One thing is I just saw the name Brock Bauer on there, and to be honest, I'm a little sad that we didn't really see a lot from him, but he was still there, and his position is his job. He does the dirty work, He opens up the runs and like the spots for the passes, And I don't know if he got a lot of playing. Did he?
I'm sure he was playing a good bit,
Yeah.
But he was only targeted. Well, he only had 4 receptions.
Mm-hmm.
He was targeted, but he had some poor targets from the Stetson.
Yep.
Underthrown, overthrown.
Yep.
Yeah. And then my other point is about Darnell Washington, Big O. I hope he's okay. Prayers with him.
Amen.
Because I remember he came back out in a boot. So I don't know if he'll be ready for the national championship. Is he a senior?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is his last stand. Hey, the good news is in the post game, he went up to the SEC Nation kind of desk or whatever it is, and they were talking. They said, "How are you?" And you're in a boot. And he's like, "I'm good. I'm good." Like he was just so happy and friendly. He didn't care. He couldn't be too bad. I'm not sure he would have said it if he was, but he wasn't down in the dumps by any means.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully he'll be able to play on Monday.
And then now to the City Dawg Talk Player of the Week. He's not playing. He's injured. Nolan Smith. When they're showing the sidelines, I mean, he's a captain, and he's taking that job. Even though he's hurt, he's still taking it on the sideline. He's hyping up and, like, cheering on the players. He's using that as an opportunity to show them and coach them. I mean, if you see that, you can see them doing that. And then his morale, I feel like people come on the bench and then he comes in and he lifts up the spirits of the sideline, and then they send him back.
Right.
My player of the week is Nolan Smith. That's
awesome.
I feel like that's what we needed from this game. I feel like he.
Cool.
I got one more player of the week. Can I choose one more?
What?
Ohio State's kicker.
Yes,
sir.
Oh, that's awesome.
That gift basket's coming.
I'm just send him a note. Say, anytime you're in Atlanta, Xavier, or you're in Charlotte,
I got a beers.
Oops.
That's right. Actually, that wasn't him. That's kick returns. Where's the kicking? That Noah?
Noah
Ruggles.
I wonder if there's a picture that we could add for this over here. That little cartoon.
Yeah, we'll have to look for that.
Well, I don't think I told this in the intro, but we are on Instagram and Twitter, so go ahead and follow those right there. And if you can please subscribe, it means the world for us. And I have a little announcement regarding our Spotify. We're not really up to date on all of our episodes. I will be working on that soon, especially in the off season. So if you want to go back and listen to them on Spotify, that would mean the world to us. It'd be awesome. But this one I will post.
You want to talk real quick about TCU, about the national championship game?
Yeah.
Any thoughts you have on that?
To be honest, I don't know. Our performance from Ohio State, I hope Kirby smacks some sense into him. It's TCU. I don't really know a lot about them. Texas Christian University, right? So the team, I don't know. But obviously they beat up Michigan. They're now in the national championship. Didn't they win their bowl?
No, they didn't win their conference. They
No, they didn't?
lost
To Kansas State.
to Kansas State.
Well,
That was
I
their
don't
only
want
loss
to
of
be
the
too
season.
cocky. Exactly. I think they're beatable. I don't want to be too cocky. I feel like Georgia will be able to roll over them. That's what I'm hoping in a national championship. But from this performance here, I mean, Ohio State did bring it, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous. But knowing Kirby, I think one of the best coaches, he's going to smack some sense into him. We're going to come out with some fire and results. And we're going to roll over Texas.
I agree.
He's
What are your thoughts, Kyle?
Oh, you guys know I'm worried about our linebackers. We're super thin. We need Robert Beal got hurt. Nolan Smith was already hurt. So Chaz Chambliss was in. Well, Chaz got hurt. Couldn't tell again if it was Chaz or Cash Jones because of playing on special teams. But now we're down to two players who are studs.
Well, we still got Mikael Williams, who was
right.
in, but he got, I don't know if he was cramping at the end of that game or if he got banged up or what the problem was. But I think he went down twice. And then, like you said, Beal went out. So we're really thin there. You mentioned these guys earlier.
This is specifically the jack position, which is one of the play callers on defense. And I think there's only two more really left from that position. Because after Beal went out, he could come back, and so could Chaz. But they didn't play the rest of the game. And who knows, maybe that was, being safe and letting some guys get some PT. I mean, we weren't that far ahead, but or we weren't ahead at all. I don't know. I'm worried about the linebackers.
Yeah, I get.
I'm worried about Jalen Carter either taking his foot off the gas or just getting double teamed. I haven't gone back and watched it enough yet to see what it was, but yeah. And I'm worried about TCU.
No,
they played really well. They played really well against Michigan. They're well coached. They're cohesive and they brought it. And I did not expect them to beat Michigan.
Me neither. But I think they heard all that. I think that they have the right mentality, right? They're just going to keep on getting after it. Yeah, TCU. But, I'm encouraged that Georgia does too. To be able to stay in on this and not give up on a game like this when Ohio State was, definitely putting it to us. Shows a lot, I think. And then I think we also have better athletes. I think we're deeper. I mean, I know that we're thin on a couple spots now because of injuries. But, hopefully all that stuff will overcome it. I know this coaching staff will be prepared.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You don't have anything else you want to add to this?
Do you want to do a prediction of the game or no?
Hey, before you go all the way full TCU, I got one more thing I want to see. I just saw it on the screen. You were looking for it earlier. In the bottom right, it says Buckeyes miss game-winning field goal play. Yeah. That's not it.
Maybe it's like a sequel. Let's just watch it. I mean, that's not a bad thing to watch either. Never mind this now. Well, thank y'all for still tuning into this episode.
I don't know why it's not playing.
Look at it again.
Click the play button on the left. Well, I don't know.
Oh, well, I already put it in the episode.
Yeah. All right, cool.
That would be nice.
So, yeah, do you want to do a prediction?
Sure. I'll go ahead and start us off. I think Georgia's going to win 35. Actually, no, I think it's going to be 40-30. I feel like it's going to be, we're going to win by 10 points. Georgia. I feel like Georgia's going to be able to get up there, and I hope they don't score 30 on us, but I feel like he said, we're kind of.
Yeah.
40-30.
What do you think, Kyle?
36-24 Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I think we'll win by 17.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm down with that. I don't know what it's going to be totally. It could be 17-0.
Yeah.
I doubt that, but
I love a good 17.
Huh?
I love a good 17.
Me too. A good number.
That would 3 scores would make me feel good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that'd be good. You know, I don't know. I can see it being close in the first half, and then
Hopefully
I
it's
can see
not.
us pulling away after that. So who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Just no.
Once,
Just my
twice.
final 2 words.
For
2 of the
an
greatest
episode?
words ever said.
Well, if you can go ahead and please subscribe. This is the Martin. Please subscribe and tune back in next time. Thank you for tuning back into City Dawg Talk. Go Dogs!
Go
Go
Dogs!
Dogs. Thanks for having me,
Hoo, hoo,
Jacob.
hoo, hoo.